Chosen one, the watchers who once followed you in silence have spoken. The guardians of divine order, heaven's law enforcement, have reviewed the evidence of your life, and the report is complete. They found no crime, only courage. No rebellion, only resilience. The case against you has become a monument in your honor. The guardians have admitted it, you are a hero. Not because you fought, but because you forgave. Not because you were flawless, but because you stayed faithful when every witness walked away. They have seen your record, the moments you cried yet kept walking, the nights you prayed while being misunderstood. Every accusation that once felt like a chain has turned into proof of your purity. You were tested in public but trusted in private. And now the report has reached heaven's highest courts. The verdict is victory. The evidence is endurance. And your name has been cleared by light. Open book Isaiah 54 verse 17, every tongue that rises against you in judgment you shall condemn. Picture it, the hall of records glowing under starlight, endless corridors of truth where nothing false can stand. Scrolls unrolled by themselves, whispering your history in tongues of fire. Each page once stained by sorrow now shimmers with gold. Angels in radiant armor stand shoulder to shoulder, silent as verdicts, bright as dawn. Their eyes are mirrors, they reflect not your failures, but the faith that kept you alive. In the center of this celestial courtroom, the commander of light walks through the ranks, holding your file in his hand. He reads aloud what the world tried to erase. Here is one who loved while wounded. Here is one who endured when evidence ran out. Here is one who proved that mercy is mightier than defense. Each word he speaks rewrites another line. Every scar becomes scripture. Every tear becomes testimony. The watchers who once shadowed your steps now lower their weapons and bow. The one they monitored has become the one they magnify. Trumpets don't sound, silence itself salutes you. The light bends as if to listen closer. Even the stars seem to realign, marking the coordinates of your redemption. You were once the subject of suspicion, now you are the subject of study. Your story is used as evidence that love never loses its case. Heaven's recorders write with reverence, the accused has become the advocate. And as the commander seals the scroll, the verdict echoes through eternity, let it be known in every realm, the guardians admit, this one is a hero. Reference, Romans 8 verse 33, who will bring any charge against those whom God has chosen? It is God who justifies. The law of heaven does not condemn, it corrects. Divine justice is not a gavel but a guardian, it seeks alignment, not annihilation. The same watchers who once tested you now testify for you. They report, the accused has learned love, the once questioned soul has become qualified through compassion. In heaven's registry, accusation expires but authenticity endures. Every false witness eventually runs out of breath, yet truth never loses its oxygen. When the eternal judge reviews the footage of your life, he doesn't see the stumble, he sees the standing afterward. He doesn't count the falls, he counts the faith that got you back up. You are not on trial anymore, you are in training. Every trial was a classroom in disguise. Every sentence meant to shame you became a syllabus for strength. The court of light convenes not to punish but to promote. Remember this sacred principle, heaven records not mistakes, but mastery through mercy. Every time you forgave when no one apologized, the record shows advanced level passed. Every time you chose peace over pride, a note was added, candidate for crown. Your life has been a legal proceeding of grace, and the verdict has already been rendered, innocent by illumination. The scripture stands like a shield over your soul, who shall bring any charge? None can, for your case file has been sealed by sovereignty itself. Your defense is divine intention, your advocate is eternal affection. Every law written in light speaks the same decree, cleared, chosen, commissioned. Even the adversaries who once accused you are now required to acknowledge your ascension. Heaven's protocol demands it. When grace justifies, guilt must retire. When truth testifies, every tongue of slander is silenced. So walk freely, citizen of light. You are not running from judgment, you are walking within justice. You are not escaping law, you are embodying it. For the truest law is love, and love has declared you legitimate. You'll feel it before you see it, a calm replacing the constant tension that once lived behind your ribs. It won't come with thunder or announcement, but like air clearing after a storm. The invisible courtroom has adjourned, the gavel of grace has already fallen. Where anxiety once sat like an uninvited guest, peace now takes its rightful chair. The same eyes that once watched you with suspicion now regard you with admiration. Heaven's surveillance has changed tone. It is no longer an investigation, but an intercession. You are being observed, not for fault, but for faithfulness. The unseen realm watches and wonder at how you kept walking while wounded, how you carried dignity through disappointment. Your body begins to agree with your spirit, shoulders lighten, breath steadies, heartbeat finds rhythm again. The weight you mistook for guilt was actually glory forming inside you. Even silence feels different now. It no longer echoes accusation but hums with approval. The universe has adjusted its frequency to your forgiveness. At times, you'll notice small confirmations, a stranger's smile lasting one heartbeat too long. A breeze that feels like it's whispering your name. Moments when light catches your reflection and you sense something royal looking back. That's heaven's way of saying, we see you. Case closed. The emotional turbulence that once made you question your worth will begin to dissolve. Joy arrives like justice, steady, structured, sacred. You'll sense yourself watched by warmth, not by worry. Where you once braced for betrayal, now you feel backed by benevolence. Even the air around you begins to bear witness. Rooms you enter feel safer. Conversations bend toward truth. People look at you and feel steadied, as if they're standing in the presence of someone acquitted by eternity. And deep within, you'll know, heaven's investigation turned into celebration. You were not being judged, you were being justified. The guardians have exchanged their reports for reverence. Even your silence testifies now. You were cleared to lead, not to gloat. Vindication is not a crown to flaunt but a call to serve. The verdict was never just about your name being cleared, it was about your nature being confirmed. Heaven didn't exonerate you for applause, it commissioned you for assignment. Your innocence is instruction. It teaches that the strongest defense is decency, the highest honor is humility, and the greatest rebellion against darkness is staying kind. The guardians who once guarded you now guard the legacy you're building. Every time you act with integrity under pressure, their wings move in agreement. You are now a living precedent. When others are falsely accused, your compassion will defend them. When hearts are on trial, your calm will become case law. You will be summoned not to testify about pain, but to demonstrate peace. You are proof that the divine system of justice works, that truth might bend in the storm but it never breaks. This mission is not dramatic, it's disciplined. You will lead without shouting, guide without grabbing, heal without harming. Heaven's law enforcement no longer watches from above, they work beside you now, whispering strategy, reinforcing your restraint. The patience you once mistook for weakness is now recognized as authority. Be lawful in love. Hold your heart like a badge of light, not a weapon, but a warrant for grace. You are authorized to intercede, to intervene, to inspire. You are cleared to enter environments that once expelled you, because now your presence brings order. You carry spiritual jurisdiction wherever you walk. When you speak, do so as one whose name has been restored. When you forgive, do so as one who understands the architecture of mercy. Your leadership is not domination, it's demonstration of what happens when heaven trusts a human with healing. So stand upright, servant of justice. Carry the calm of someone already vindicated. Defend others quietly, correct with compassion, protect with prayer. Let your very composure preach, I've been cleared by light, therefore I carry it. Chosen one, the paperwork of prophecy is moving fast. Heaven's bureaucracy of blessing has entered final processing, your file marked cleared for manifestation. The verdict that once hovered above you is now descending into visible reality. What was spiritual is about to become situational. This is not the hour for hesitation. Your vindication isn't private, it's precedent for a watching generation. The younger ones are learning how light fights, not by retaliation, but by radiance. Every step you take with integrity is rewriting someone else's outcome. Every time you choose truth over ego, another record in heaven's archive is corrected. The guardians are not waiting, they are recording. Every act of obedience becomes new law in the unseen world. You are setting legal precedent in the courts of eternity, proving that purity is power. You are walking evidence that righteousness still rises, even when rumor runs faster. Move quickly, but don't rush. This urgency is not panic, it is prophetic precision. You are being timed by eternity, each decision part of a larger decree. Doors will open not by force, but by fulfillment. When you feel the impulse to act, act with alignment, not ambition. Heaven's timing is not delayed, it's deliberate. The old accusations are collapsing like expired warrants. Those who build cases against you are losing jurisdiction. You no longer need to prove your innocence, you only need to practice it. Your peace is your paperwork. Your grace is your evidence. Chosen one, remember, vindication without vision is vanity. This is not the end of your trial, it's the transfer of your title. You have moved from defendant to deliverer. Every righteous choice you make from here forward becomes legislation for light. Do not underestimate the urgency of goodness. Do not delay the discipline of mercy. History moves on the hinge of hearts like yours, cleared, calm, committed. So rise when prompted. Speak when stirred. Forgive while it still feels unfair. For the records are still being written. The guardians are still observing, now with admiration. And the next chapter of justice depends on your obedience. You were once the suspect, now you are the standard. The name once whispered with doubt is now spoken with dignity. Where others saw disorder, heaven saw design. Your scars are now signatures of service, your restraint is registered as royalty. The records have been rewritten. Under crimes, heaven inscribed none, only courage. Under sentence, it wrote sanctified by endurance. Under final note, a seal of gold, evidence of divinity. You are not merely forgiven, you are formatted for leadership. Every accusation that once defined you has been turned into authority. What you endured privately has become public legislation for light. Your patience under pressure has entered the archives as a prototype for perseverance. Heaven's guardians no longer monitor your steps, they follow your example. They study how you remain gentle under judgment, how you stay lawful in love. You have become curriculum for the cosmos, a walking case study in compassion. When they speak of you now, they use words like precedent, proof, and pattern. Understand this sacred shift. You are no longer being tested, you are being trusted. You were once evaluated, now you are elevated. You were once under review, now you are under revelation. The light that once inspected you now imitates you, because you learned how to shine without pride. That is true heroism, to be brave without bitterness. to hold power without hardness, to forgive faster than you were forgiven. You are no longer surviving scrutiny, you are shaping standards. When heaven calls you hero, it doesn't mean invincible, it means incorruptible. It means your love outlasts lies, your honor outshines hostility. You became the proof that holiness is not perfection, but persistence. You didn't graduate from pain, you transformed it into protocol. So carry yourself accordingly. Walk as one whose file is framed in light. Speak with the calm of someone whose conscience has been audited by angels. Move with the measured grace of a soul that knows, the guardians salute me now. And whenever you doubt who you've become, remember, the courtroom of heaven still echoes your name, followed by applause. The suspect became the statute. The accused became the example. The watched became the worthy. The shift will not stay invisible for long. Heaven's verdict always leaks into the physical. You'll begin to notice the world speaking the same language as your liberation. Dreams will change first. Where you once ran from shadows, now you walk beside light. You may dream of badges turning into stars, of armor dissolving into radiant robes. You'll wake up not frightened but fortified, knowing the dream was not fantasy, but filing. Heaven was showing you what it already stamped, approved. You'll hear footsteps again, but they will comfort instead of chase. Those steps belong to guardians in gentle formation, marching not to monitor but to mirror your movement. Where fear used to sit, peace now takes residence. You might even feel warmth on your shoulders when you speak truth, the brush of invisible approval. In daylight, confirmations appear through coincidences too precise to ignore. A stranger calling you leader. A child smiling as if they recognize something royal in your aura. Moments when you feel protected in places that once felt unsafe. Even time seems to slow down when you walk in purpose, as if creation itself is taking notes. The signs will multiply with your mindfulness. When you respond with patience instead of pride, the air feels lighter. When you choose silence over self-defense, you sense an invisible standing ovation. Each act of restraint releases a ripple of recognition, the universe updating your record in real time. Animals will sense it too. Birds draw nearer. Pets rest easier at your feet. Nature knows when a soul has been cleared, even creation celebrates acquittal. Sometimes you'll smell something sweet with no source, not perfume, but presence. Other times you'll catch a phrase on a billboard, or a lyric in a song, repeating words you prayed in secret. These are dispatches from the guardians, gentle proofs that the unseen world remains aware of your progress. Do not dismiss these moments as coincidence. They are evidence, small, sacred signatures that heaven's opinion of you has shifted from probation to partnership. The watchers have rewritten your file, and now the world echoes their revision. So when the next stranger calls you protector, smile. When peace arrives unannounced, welcome it like an officer with open gates. These are confirmations that the investigation is over, and the guardians have changed their tone. Live with lawful love. Do not treat grace as exemption, treat it as empowerment. You were not cleared to live carelessly, but consciously. Your record in heaven is spotless, keep your reputation on earth sincere. Respect boundaries the way angels respect order. When you honor structure, you strengthen safety, for yourself and for those who follow your path. Speak truth gently, and let your consistency be your certificate. You no longer need to argue for your worth, your witness is your way of life. Let humility be your badge. Walk with the quiet authority of one who has seen the inside of heaven's courtroom and lived to tell the story. There's no need to broadcast your vindication, your calm already communicates it. Peace is the new uniform of the justified. Serve quietly. Lift others without announcing your strength. Be the first to apologize, the last to accuse. Your leadership is legal in the realm of light because it's built on leniency. When you protect another's dignity, heaven's guardians salute again. Keep your conscience as polished as armor. Every small compromise dulls the shine, every act of integrity restores it. Do not envy the loud or the lawless, noise is not nobility. Your authority comes from order, your influence from innocence. When tempted to defend yourself, remember, your innocence already speaks louder than your words. Let silence be your strategy when you sense misunderstanding. The same watchers who once reviewed your responses now reward your restraint. Even unspoken patience has legal power in the unseen realm. Build a daily rhythm of righteousness. Wake grateful, speak graciously, rest guilt-free. Treat every task like testimony, every choice, a chance to prove that divine justice lives inside human behavior. Let your kindness remain consistent even when unseen. The true courtroom has no cameras, only conscience. Forgive preemptively. Bless before being thanked. Correct without condemning. This is the lifestyle of the cleared, disciplined, dignified, divine. And if ever the past tries to reopen your case, smile and step forward. Files sealed in light cannot be reopened in shadow. Your walk itself is legal documentation, every footprint a signature of freedom. So move through the world like a peaceful officer of love. Carry serenity as your shield, service as your sword. And wherever you go, let your presence whisper, the case is closed, but the calling continues. Righteous judge of light, we lift our hands not as defendants, but as those declared clean. Thank you for clearing the names of the humble, for turning accusation into affirmation. Where once there was anxiety, let assurance now dwell. Where once there was fear of being seen, let the peace of being known take its place. We thank you for divine surveillance that safeguards, not stalks. For heavenly guardians who correct, not condemn. Let every viewer, every reader, every listener feel safe under your watch, to know that your gaze is guidance, not guilt. Record this moment in the archives of eternity, that we stood forgiven and faithful at once. Let our vindication become vocabulary for those still voiceless. Let every accusation fall silent in the presence of your fairness. Teach us to live as lawful lovers, to carry authority with gentleness, to enforce truth with tenderness. Keep our motives transparent, our actions pure, our words weighty with grace. Let our patience become policy in the courts of heaven. To every falsely accused heart, send this same comfort. To every weary warrior, release rest as reward. To every humble leader, confirm again, your case is closed, your cause continues. We surrender every shadow of shame to your sunlight. Seal us, sovereign judge, with the stamp of serenity. Surround us with the peace that proves we are pardoned. Let every guardian assigned to us report, mission ongoing, the cleared continue to shine. May our legacy be lawful, our love unending, our leadership pure. And when our names are spoken in rooms we'll never enter, let the mention bring mercy instead of memory. May even our silence still serve the sentence of light. Amen.